Okay, folks, today we are talking about being afraid of failure, fearing failure. I've had a fun ride at 48 years old. I've had a blast, man. My time in the Navy, my youth, my several years, three years, thinking I was going to be an actor, being in that rat race in San Francisco, and then cattle calls in Los Angeles. Corporate world for 15, 16 years, management, moonlighting and fitness way early on in my corporate career. Man, I got my first personal training job back in like the mid 90s, and at the YMCA in San Diego. Oh man, I was in love. I was making peanuts, but I was in love with fitness. Full-time management, general manager, 3 different bases out there. And then FBO here, Director of Operations, FBO here in Austin. But long story short, man, I remember, and I had this epiphany today during my workout. I was like, this is what I'm going to shoot my video about. There was pros and cons of my extreme fear of failure. And I remember, I wouldn't say no to much. I said yes to a lot of stuff, and it's stuff that made me ridiculously fearful. I was in over my head. Oh man, in over my head. And I just find a way to make it happen. Well, as you get older, I find myself still saying yes to everything, but not having so much fear of failure. So I have a lot more fun doing it. There's very little stress in my life. I say yes to a lot of stuff, especially if it's things that I love. And right now I got a lot of irons in the fire. And I know that some of them could crash and burn. And I would be partly at fault. And I'm okay with that. So what happens is you start in your 40s, all you 20-somethings, teenagers, 20s and 30-somethings out there, pay close attention to this. You don't think much about the end is near. Well, as a cancer survivor and a guy that just turned 48, you really fall in love with every day a little. I love every day a little more than I used to. That's just the old cliche. It's true. It just comes with age. And I'm not scared to fail. And so what happens is when I'm in the moment, when I'm rocking and rolling and I'm busier than a 3-legged cat covering up shit, as I like to say, I'm at peace with it. There's no stress. At least there's a little stress, yeah, but I don't let myself get too caught up in the fact that whatever we could fail. It's not the end of the world. So that's the message today, folks. It's okay to be a little fearful of failure, because that's a good driver. You want to be successful. That's crazy powerful. Nothing wrong with that. I still want to be wildly successful. My wife and I are just we want to shoot to the moon. But along the way, here's the key point of the message. Along the way, I want you to enjoy each day. I want you to enjoy the process. I want you to enjoy the rat race. Every crazy meeting you run into, how many, you get busy. I feel like I have 3 or 4 Google Hangout calls and conference calls all the time. Before you start one of those, hit the pause button and remind yourself to enjoy this next 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes. Every time you do walk into a meeting, hit the pause button and remind yourself to enjoy this. There's a lot of crazy stuff that's got to get accomplished. A lot of crazy stuff going on, and I'm a big part of this. I'm not talking about me, I'm talking about you. This is you. It's real life for many of you listening. Enjoy that. Enjoy that meeting. Enjoy that day. Don't leave work, whether you work out of the house or you go to the cubicle or wherever you go to work. Don't leave work until you feel like you have really pinched the life out of every single second. What have you done to serve the team today? What have you done to bring great life and energy to the team? Have you caused stress to the team in an unnecessary manner? Or are you bringing peace and tranquility to the chaos? It's the Bobby D, man. He's walking down the beach in Apocalypse Now. I've used this in my videos before. I got some newcomers. Maybe you haven't heard. Apocalypse Now if you haven't heard it. He's walking down the beach and the bombs are going off. I love the smell of napalm in the morning. It smells like victory. Well, Bobby D and everybody in Vietnam was up shit creek without a paddle. But he found a way to freaking... there's people all over the world that are up shit creek without a paddle. That's my grandfather saying. In Texas, we got a lot of sayings. My cousin Shawnee, he was in the Navy. He's in the Border Patrol now. He's the one that taught me to busier than a three-legged cat covering up shit. That's really busy, by the way. If you've ever owned a house cat. With 4 legs, they look like a freaking... They'll work 15 minutes. I mean, like a bunch of... It's like a tribe in there, dude. They're going to cover that up really good and then recover it and recover it. Well, imagine that happening with 3 legs. It's one of my favorite sayings. So, they were up shit creek without a paddle, but Bobby D found a way to make the most of the situation and lift up his troops around him. So no matter how bad it is, find the good in all your moments. I love y'all. Thank you for tuning in. Somehow I thought time flies by, man. I was hoping to keep us 3 to 4 minutes. This is 6 minutes. Y'all be good. Thank you for tuning in for me. I love each and every one of you. Know that I tell you every time. I mean it. Light up the planet tomorrow. The rest of today as well. It's gonna be my new closing. When you're done listening to this, if there's any of your family in the surrounding area, you drop what you're doing. You go hug them. You look them right in the eye and you tell them, "I love you. I love you very much. I love being your dad. I love being your husband or your wife. I love being your mom or your dad. I love being your grandpa, your grandma. I love being your son. I love being your grandson." Go show some real love to the people that would do anything for you. They fight a grizzly bear for you. Let them know how much you love them. Be good.